Notes or squigs. So a lot of the things in fursuit, if you have a fursuit, is you have to express your emotions. So for example, like when you wave, like let's say you have cosplay when you wave, right? Princess wave. No, you gotta be like, hey! There you go, there you go. Okay, no, a little much. So like things like that. Another thing is, again, this body language. So like, in this room, I'm going to take some over here, a few steps over here. I'm going to give them certain emotions, and they'll kind of show you how to act, not to confuse them. So, you know, just I will ask the audience to give them an emotion. So think of one that's very confusing, it's funny. So show them that you're happy. Sad. Scared. So another thing I like to show is like when you're in Fursuit, you can't be like, you have to be like a video game character, right? So like when you're selecting a video game character, you're not like this. They're like, so like show me all standard poses. What's really funny is sometimes we'll find ourselves because we have tails, we'll like wag them. We'll be talking to people like not in suit. Hey, what's up?
When people think we're twerking, but we're just like used to it. What's going on?
So those kind of now. Let's see one more. Let's do content. Do content. Forward. Forward. Now this is the fun part. Audience, is there a certain emotion you want me to see? Be gentle.
Confusion.
Confusion.
Angry.
Angry. Laughing? Loving. Their boyfriend. Snuggly. The lumps? Can you hang
No, you can do better than that. Let me get up like that. There you go.
So, alright, so that's for the long side of the way. Is there anything you want to see? Like they did? I don't know if you guys saw us earlier, we were going to flash them up. Yes, do you have an emotion? Okay, yes, it's quite funny to watch them fall down dead now. Their butt might pop, their seams might pop, but it'd be really funny. So if y'all can act dead in your best, safe way. We got some lazy furries here. Alright. Halloween theme, we're going. Alright, okay. Thank you. Let's give her a positive to our performance.
Probably through the duration of this, you'll start seeing some of us come undone. So imagine putting like a sleeping bag or a winter blanket on and running around in July outside.
So, alright, so you can take your head off.
Oh.
Yes, you can take your head off.
Alright, be careful, y'all. Get some.
Oh God, decapitation!
So, a couple things with that is, yes, we're hot. We're extremely hot. I'm disgusting. This is, don't touch me. Like, if you're gonna come and give me a hug, like, you're gonna get moist. Like, we're gonna get moist again. It's gonna be, we're gonna be blowing on some ribs. So a couple things you worry about is obviously overheating is one of the things you need to worry about. And in that situation is you kind of need to know your limits. So in my case, I went full force, got a full suit. Man, I went 20 minutes first time I got it. I was like, oh, I'm in. That's it. Gone. Matt. You know, Code over here, finally, he used to be partially. Finally got his full suit.
So y'all.
Yes, give more. Yes, please. Wow. We're working out here. He's like, hey, Fandom, I'm done. Like, it's been 5 minutes. So know your limits is one thing.
Yes, please God.
Him and I, we've been doing this for about 4 years. We have here 3,000 to 4,000 hours of suit time. So keeping up with us is difficult. And we tell people like, whoa, boo, boo, you private, we colonels. Even though we can go 10 hours like this with the occasional breakdowns, there's people that put a full suit on. He like at 20 minutes. How do you guys do that?
So know your limits. And this plays into that as well about this. Everybody know what the 6-2-1 rule is?
Wait, everybody here should know what 6-2-1
You're a cop.
100% I know what that is.
Well, what is it?
I just forgot. Oh, that's sad.
6 hours of sleep,
You should come to my funeral.
2 meals, and for the love of whatever you believe in, take a shower one day. Once a day.
Please God, do not be a musky husky. We don't want it. Ew. Hey.
Wait, we're supposed to shower?
Yeah.
So again, overheating is one thing. So like we all know our limits, and then we're on to what handlers do in a minute. So like we know like we're at the point where we need to stop, we stop. We try not to what's called break the magic like this, but there are times we say screw it, our life is more important than this. So we'll take the head off, run to the headless lounge, get water, those kind of things. In reference to that, the other thing is if you guys know your overheating, because I see some of you guys also have cosplay as well. One of the things we do use to cool is I have a fan in my head. I don't know if you can see it, but
nope, yeah, they can see it.
okay. Whatever. So like there's a fan in my head and my muzzle that blows in the air that kind of cools us down. Taser does wear an ice vest. I'll show you in a second. We use those kind of things to cool down, but we know our limits. So like we get to the point where we stop sweating, we're done.
There's 2 located here, and then there's 1 in the muzzle. They help. They're not.
No.
To put this in perspective, ever put your head under the blanket, you feel that hot, uncomfortable air?
Yes.
When you put the fan down, it's like poking your finger. It doesn't help, but it makes it more tolerable. And then, like he said, he's like brushing me, he's like, hold up, $1 bills.
So overheating is another situation we deal with a lot is, in this case, we have what's called, if we're public suiting, or we're at an anime convention, a furry convention is a little bit different, because it's more focused on furries and fursuiters, and fursuiters and first level. We have what's called handlers. And their job is to make sure we don't punch children. So everybody, take your hands and do this. That's your vision.
That's best
That's
case.
it. That's best case. So a little kid runs up to us.
Yeah, we don't know if a box or a kid. They weigh the same.
You ever see at Disneyland, Disney World, whatever, they have characters and then there's someone next to them?
Yeah.
That's what they're looking out for. They're making sure that no one's going to be behind them, do anything to them, disrupt them and stuff like that. We cannot see. This is best case scenario. And then when we have camera flashes, we are blind for at least 30 seconds. So,
Another situation, I'm sorry, another situation is kids are sticky, let's be honest. Drunks. Let's be real with each other. Because we have fans that take in. Ooh.
3 times. So if you're drunk, I know. And now I am drunk.
That also goes with marijuana. Anyways,
So real quick about my vest. This vest, if you guys see, there's a sheet there, and there's also one on my back. So the whole inside of this is ice. With me running around like I do, it lasts about an hour. So an hour, how long does an ice cube on the counter last? Hours. This lasts about an hour. It's actually nice and cool.
Did you make it or did you buy it?
No, I bought it.
you personally, you did make a soup against the soup maker too. Good job. Good job. I like it. I like it. So, and the other thing that safety is also putting children. The thing is, when you guys see us, please don't approach us from the back. Again, we cannot hear, so we don't know you're behind us. So we be like, hey! And you're on the floor.
That's why you always see us, if you've seen us out and about, we're more or less going like this. because we can't just go, oh, there's stuff there. So that's why we're always like, doing full range motions.
Some people, like running trash cans on Rasker.
Yeah.
Stairs are dangerous as well. Thank God there's no stairs here.
Any obstacle.
Those kind of things. So I'm going to kind of have Rasker go a little bit into what handling is, because he was probably one of our best handlers. Take over.
First off, depends on the suitor. Some of them are more reckless and just run over everything.
I know what you're talking about. You're in my way.
Some of them don't get their damage fees back at the end of the con. But our job is to try to prevent that the best I can. Because not only can other people interfere with them, they can accidentally run over other stuff. I've been walking all over that power strip down there, and I did not even recognize it because of how big these are. Did not even process it. So, when it comes to handling, especially with other people, especially at anime cons where people are not fully aware of the fursuiting, how limited awareness can be.
The dangers of fursuiting.
We approach people. I have to, when I was handling Fursuit yesterday, I had to like grab her multiple times and be like, hey, this person right here, turn your head, look right there. Yeah, there you go. Hug them.
Hug them. Now, you have to ask before you hug people, right?
Yes.
Cosplay is not. Thank you. Same with us.
And always ask. Always ask.
Water. Keep a bag of water as a handler.
Wait.
2 or 3.
Wait, you're supposed to drink water? Not apple
Yeah,
juice?
fun. Got beer.
That's a fun fact.
Is this your first convention?
No, it's my first time drinking water. I don't know what this stuff is.
The thing about water is, yes,
Was it clear from your shower comment?
To have water. It is perfectly fine to have water, but one thing you got to keep in mind, and I'm going to get to another quick subject about that, is you got to put the electrolytes back in you. So don't just drink water because you can still dehydrate, you can still have low blood sugar, and you can still start feeling kind of dizzy. So, is it a question pertaining to this?
Gatorade.
Oh, yeah, Gatorade. You should Gatorade.
Oh, okay.
So, like, yeah, Gatorade, Powerade. Since most of us here have at least a minimum of 200 hours in suit, I do not highly recommend energy drinks at all.
What?
Sewer liquor.
So,
In suit, Red Bull does not give you wings.
Well, it does. It gives you angel wings.
Yeah, it will.
Fly away.
Life alert to Knoxville.
Something a little bit strange. The other end of the water, is there any characters might wear Depends?
For what?
The other end of the drinking the water in your intake, does any characters wear Depends or something like that to help reduce times out?
I'm going to get to that right now. You drink water, right?
Oh, the
So when
pee.
you have enough fluid in you, you go to the bathroom, right? Since we sweat profusely, we get rid of that waste. So we can drink a gallon or 2 a day, and we don't go to the bathroom.
Wow. Because it's just.
Because we sweat out what we would have to use the restroom. So if you're ready to go to the bathroom, we don't.
And that water bill.
Now, with that being said, we do suggest you don't have to, eat paladines before you get in your fursuit. Because you're gonna have a rough day. For everybody.
We will be having a Q&A near the end.
The end.
We're just going to kind of get through our subjects, and then we can just boom, be fired with questions.
So, all right, so we did do the safety, we did handlers. That's what we're going to get to is so there's acting, right? A lot of us have, like we have, it's a more personal mascot. So the kind of situation that me and him have is anyone, please tell me, you've been good. Has anyone seen Lilo and Stitch?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Jumbo, that's Stitch. You don't listen to me, does what he wants, squeaks, poops, whatever. But we have our own little things like that, and some of us squeak, some of us don't. And a lot of it has to do with is voice acting. So it's actually a really hard if you do speak, because when I walk around first, I'm actually British. Hello, good morning, everyone. Good to see you.
Oh God, please make
Hello.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Now, we want to get to all this stuff and answer everybody's questions. So, one thing too is like we were touching on, we all have our personalities. Who here has seen Lilo and Stitch? Lilo and Stitch. So, the personality we have, me, Stitch, that jumbo. So if you see me yelling at me, I'm like the child that runs around and touches stuff that I'm not supposed to.
Even in Mandalorian.
So, yeah, pretty much Grogu in the Mandalorian.
Don't say it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, the voice acting, I want like the one that speaks loud, proud.
Hi.
Hi.
So, the voice acting ties a lot into your personality. You might have a character like a roommate who's very British.
Hello.
Quite obnoxiously.
Cheers.
Or you may be somebody like myself, and you just amplify you. Everybody's personality is different, guys. We all know that. So anything that, like, you know, it goes kind of with your character, basically how you're going to talk, how you're going to act, all that good stuff, right? For me, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. I sound like I came straight out of Deliverance. When I'm in suit, it's this, but 10 decibels higher. So that's my acting. Somebody else may have squeaks, for instance, like Dukes and Yukis. Or they may run around like Jumbo and Stitch, like Taser and Keanu. You may have somebody like Rascal who just acts like trash. So basically, when it comes down to brass tacks, depending on the character, how you want to portray them, you might use a different voice, you might elevate your personality a little, you may totally shift into a different mindset when you enter this. For me, like I said, it just gets 10 decibels louder, and you will hear me, and I will make sure you hear me. Don't you worry. If you can't hear me, you will. So, you will. We've got some funny business in here. Anyways,
you're welcome.
Basically, make it you. That's what I say. Make it you. If you want to make it something different than you, all right, Google, you do you. Whatever works. So, we just kind of takes into that, and we just kind of go crazy with it. At least I do.
Yes.
These two do as well. I can't keep up with them most times. This is like one of my first times doing this whole deal, as he said. Finally made it through.
So, now, with that being said, there are various types of fursuits.
Correct.
Okay? Now, there's 4 main ones. Does anyone know what the 4 main ones are? No, no. The one in the back, you've already answered, unfortunately. I understand, I know.
How about you?
Dingy grade, a plantigrade, partial, and I'm not sure about the others.
Is that specific names?
Four.
Yes.
There you go. That's exactly correct.
So, now, with that being said,
There's some more.
I am what's called, if you want to try to guess,
Trash.
plantigrade. I don't have thick thighs that save lives. Oh, am I doing a pose?
If I can get mine.
Oh!
I was about to say, put your lady up.
So this is this is plantigrade. I'm a full suiter because I wear a full suit. It's all there. It's rough. I'm a full suit, and then you have what's called you two come around. No, not you. Taser. Or you come here.
Okay.
The Dutchies, not the Dutchies.
So then you need to take down your post.
Excuse me.
Then you can explain my
Yeah, you too. Okay, those are what's called digigrade, because they look like they're like, bent over and like running or whatever.
We thick.
They fit.
But if you can see very well, I'll turn to this side. My leg is straight. I have padding on my calf and in my thigh.
Thighs save lives.
If you look, you can really see the line of my leg.
And then we have what's called a partial. So fiddle, come a fiddle, and this is a partial right here. Fiddle twirl around. See, just no hand paws, tail, and no feet. Where's your hand paws? Put them on. You're poodling.
Like this one here. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay, and then we also have what's called a full partial, which he's just disappeared. Which would be you, no, would be you.
Please hold.
Right here. This is a full partial. He's got gloves, stompers, a tail. Turn around and show you beautiful butt.
Yeah. Pretty much the only he's missing is a torso.
There's nothing right here. No.
But see, there's others out there that
Like full suit right here.
that
Full suit.
cannot wear it due to
Oh, Tyler, you can wear it? Did you grab it? Okay, see, okay.
They cannot wear it due to heat tolerance or some medical condition, whatever that may be. That the most they can do is this. There's some people that cannot put a head on due to claustrophobia, you know, so on and so forth.
I hate to read it. I would like Fiddle to explain the uniqueness of the one suit that she has made. This one right
Yes,
here.
please.
So this again, this is a personal mascot. This shows the uniqueness of what you want to make. So.
This is my boyfriend's Fursuit. If this is vibes. This is just a TV head that has ears that I made and a neck that I made with a face. That's it.
Where'd you get the TV from?
Antique shop. Yes, Goodwill and some thrift stores don't accept two TVs anymore. So you either have to look on the side of the road or antique shop.
Nice. I thought there was just like
Facebook
TV
Marketplace.
frames you guys like bought on like
No,
Amazon.
you just you gut the inside and then you take plastic film and 5% tint and then that's it.
Oh, that's big brain.
The visibility is really good. It's like looking through a car with a tent.
So now that brings a great question, Taser.
Yes.
How do you make these?
Yes, Taser. How do you make them?
How do you tell us?
Hey guys, I'm going to ask Taser a question.
There's 3 suits here that I've made.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand if I've made your suit.
Ew, no.
This one took me 2 days.
And it's all hand sewn.
This one took me 2 weeks because of its back and tail. Each one of these are by hand. There's 23 of them.
Holy crap.
I have tumbleweeds. No joke. I don't know if it's my German Shepherd hair or Fursuit hair. Our hotel room looks amazing. So, but here, the way how you make these suits is, you ever go to the store and you see a mannequin? So what we do is we go to the store and we get a painter suit, and we put the painter suit on, and then we duct tape them from here to wrist to ankle. And in a digigrade suit, we put the pad in and tape them. It's a nice, fun, like 2-hour process.
Don't go pink.
Then we cut them out of it, tape it back together, then we have a duct tape dummy. That makes sense. Then I'll draw all the lines on them for each color or pattern. And then I'll point, because all the fur has to go in the same direction. And then I cut out that piece of duct tape, I lay it on the fabric, then I cut out that piece. As you see, I have an RA. You can guess what RA means?
Right arm.
Right arm. Right arm. So just this arm, 4 pieces. Not counting, there's about 12 in the feet, and hands are 2. He is literally like a jigsaw puzzle inside. See, look, they're all doing sewn on. That was fun. So, and then after that, you play it all out and sew it on. But one thing you gotta remember is when you get a shirt, who's got a shirt or a coat with a roll like this, it hikes up. Yeah. I gotta accommodate for their reach. Meaning they may not have all this reach, but they gotta be able to go up. And then, you know, you gotta fit them and everything else. We adjusted this padding over the last, I'd say, week because it wasn't filled out enough. As you see, I'm super skinny and I'm huge in suit. When I take it off, I'm like, oh my God,
Most biggest ego.
Yeah, bro, he's like 3 times smaller. Out. It's insane.
Oh, God.
Tiny guy!
And then
I don't eat padding.
We'll say
But any quick questions about the odd and end of suit making? Yes.
So I have a sewing machine at home, and I was wondering if, is it better to use a sewing machine? Because My mom does a lot of the sewing for me.
You gotta get a strong machine. This material is super thick.
Yeah.
I have a quilting one, and sometimes it struggles. You need to get an industrial machine so you're not pulling your hair out sewing these.
Are there patterns online I can get?
Well, hold on. Like I said, I made a duct tape dummy. These suits, that suit is made to fit him. Her suit is made to fit her. So if you're not our build, you can find patterns, but they won't. Like the coat stands sideways. You can literally see how it follows the curvature of his body. Now, if I would, let's say, take his patterns and give them to you, it's gonna look really baggy and unnatural. That's why you see that, you only have these padding, I can pull them out. But you see how it fits me, that I have it drop down to my waist, and it stays up. So they kind of fit. A couple more quick questions.
This is kind of more for like commissions rather than making it yourself.
Oh.
But like if you're commissioning somebody online, how do you like get it so that it's precise, like tailored to
You would send them a duct tape dummy, and that would be up to the maker.
Yes.
Now, commissions, real quick. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be a 5-second thing. Always do your homework on who you're paying.
Yeah.
These suits with zero labor, 1,100, 1,300.
This is the third.
Now, you commission me to make that suit because of all the intricate colors, shapes, and everything else. You're starting about $3,000.
Nope.
So, yeah. But it's like, if you're ever going to commission somebody to do anything cosplay, always do your homework. And never send it PayPal, family and friends. Always, you go to service. Always, because if they try to rip your money off, friends and family, SOL. Goods and services, never ever, if you ever somebody, oh, send it to friends and family, do not. And always, 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 always vet and look at reviews of the individual you are going to commission.
Ask the customers.
Already sitting.
I didn't want to steal the show, sir. I wanted to let you do your little spiel. I'm merely resting my legs.
Oh, and then I got a name for Christmas for her real quick. This is an exact replica of Fursuit. As you see, little wings and stars, her stomach, everything else. It's an exact replica.
Now,
You didn't find people to do this. You didn't bring yours, did you?
excuse me? Now, as you can imagine, that does not require a duct tape dummy. Just a few more.
That would be a pretty much of a
What
pass.
is this? Soup ants?
So, what's next?
What's next on the agenda?
So,
Doctor?
speaking. So in that case, just a couple things I want to get to about the furry fandom is a lot of us do this because we have sensory overload, anxiety, whatever you may have. Please always check your mental health. Do not just ignore that. That's more dangerous than the actual symptom. Go get it. There's no shame in it. There's zero shame in it.
Well, real quick on that. Who here has stage fright? Think of that as some people that have anxiety. They put that heads on and they get into this character. It drastically helps. This one right here 2 years ago would be standing up here shaking. Now she's fully speaking because it helped her get more comfortable with being up in front of people. I've been doing it for 13 years. So speaking in front of people, it's 500 people, 600 people is the best I've been in. So it doesn't bother me. So
we're also very inclusive family.
Yes.
So we don't care what kind of walk of life you come from, color your skin, who you love, what you don't love. Well, we're very accepting, and I'll be honest, a lot of the fandom is part of the LGBT community, which is fantastic. And it's a place where we accept everyone for who they are. Now, as in every fandom, there are those that we don't accept you for who you are, and they're ugly, and they're mean, but we don't talk to those people. Blame them now.
we don't feed the trolls and wither up and die, quote
Don't
unquote.
be the troll.
From him. Not
So we are very inclusive and things like that, because a lot of people they're like trans and they like to help their persona change who they are and helps them figure out who they are, who they really are, and things like that. So we are very inclusive with that. So we take a lot of pride in that. So if you do come out and You know, if you make fun of one of us for being who we are, you're gonna get ganged up on. You're the most adorable gang up you've ever seen, but
Wait, who's seen that video
Yeah,
where
yeah.
people jumped out of the bus? It was SpongeBob and a penguin.
that would be us. Start bullying us, you know, because love is a human right. So, but I think we sped through this. Oh yeah, the convention. We haven't decided what we're doing.
Touch base.
Okay, so me and him, most of us here, we have. I'm a con chair. I was a con chair for a convention that was in Chattanooga. South, New West. Long story. Talk later. So we are thinking we're going to run another convention, probably the end of October. It's going to be a furry convention, and we're not sure if we're going to run it. We're thinking either Nashville or actually in this convention center because I really like this convention center.
This one.
And Nashville doesn't have one. Which one is it?
Memphis close enough.
Memphis for me?
Yeah, we've been there.
We've been there.
Oh, yeah.
They love us there.
Or you can do the Kingsport Convention Center.
That's true.
Wait, somebody say Kingsport?
Everybody here has a
Now, okay, so
everybody here has a
towards
smartphone. We can
top
keep our website.
corner
We
of
can keep
Tennessee,
up to date.
right where it makes it.
So now, question: is anyone here like furry, that's kind of furry, or wants to get a furry, is kind of local to this area?
I was born in Kingsport.
Do you have a thought?
Whoa! Yes.
TNTriStateFurs.org. That's the community that we run around here. We do lots of events in Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga. We're working our way up to Pigeon Forge. Eventually, TNTriStateFurs.org. Yes.
Our tri-state reach goes from the state of Tennessee, great state of Georgia, and the state of Alabama. So if you know folks in that area, let them know.
They want to know if they want a furry community to run something. If they're not sure if there's a furry community where they're at, send them there. We'll find them a home if it's not nearby.
So, real quick, and then we'll get to it. Most of us here are admins. If you're an admin of the Tri-State, raise your hand. There's one right back there as well. You will see the links and pictures of
our faces,
our personas on there. You'll have some of our just basic YouTube channels or whatever, or you have Telegram. You can reach us personally. Some of us work nights, and then some of us work
whatever the hell I want.
So, but if it is, give us at least, 12 to 24 hours to reply back. But when you do have the links directly to us, please come to us.
Always.
And
We're
so,
here for you.
So the name of the convention was. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rude as hell.
It's fine. I was just gonna say that I'm from Johnson City. We have a group out there in
What?
yeah, we can talk later, but I wanted to
Let me know. Come to me, and then what I can do is I can put you on the website to direct them where to go.
That'd be great.
Like if you're in the area, hey, check out this area.
Bristol and Oxford.
Bristol. I'm Bristol.
Yeah. Hi, Bristol. Sorry.
So that
Because next week we have a fur.
Furry
bowling.
Verbal, you can David Buster's.
We did public outside.
We did
Park.
public park meets. We do have a 21-ounce bar meet.
Yes.
We're always doing something. Like me and him, personal time.
What's that?
Yeah. Between our day jobs, me and him working on the convention itself, I'm prepping the main events and light show for October 2023 already.
TN.
So
Tri-State first.
Yep.
What's the website, guys?
And then there's
I don't think there's enough enthusiasm in saying that link.
So,
so
yeah, so the other thing is, the convention, we stuck with the name, we're still going to stick with the name, I don't care if it's Music City Fur Festival. Funny story. We call it Music City Furfest. I did not know that the word Furfest was copyrighted. Midwest Furfest let me know immediately. I was like, my bad, y'all.
We've only passed this
Okay,
out
sorry.
word of mouth. There's been no pen to paper.
I know.
There's been no pen to paper. This is that when you talk about Midwest Furfest, wow, too many M's in this.
You can do it.
They're in Chicago. So word of mouth it got back to him immediately.
I was like, what? The Lord let her.
We were
Serious
laughing because we were
business.
like, wow, we didn't
all this. Legalese in here.
We haven't signed a contract. We're going to get a suit.
He told him, and then I hear him, he knocks on the door, hey Coda, we got a problem. Yeah, that's an issue.
That's a big problem. We're looking for lawyers.
Oh, yeah.
But if anybody doesn't know cease and desist, it's basically a letter saying, hey, please don't do that.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I love you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Man, y'all.
It's just a legal way of saying you can't do that.
Enough with the legal mumbo.
That's my job.
In fact, we'll let him worry that.
I mean, oh, like, to see how hot we are, he's been in the suit for what? Like 2 hours? Turn around.
I'm dressed.
So, we get warm. Oh boy.
Alright, so now, we did our little thing. What, did you want to say something?
Go ahead.
What were you going to say? I'm going to roll into Q&A.
Yeah, go ahead and explain it. And I'll
Q&A?
yes.
It's a session where people answer. They give us questions
Correct.
and we answer.
Right.
That's what a Q&A is.
No, really?
If we may,
Dang.
with the Q&A, because we want to get to as many questions as possible. If you have a question directed at a certain person, let us know. Otherwise, I think we are opening for now.
2 questions.
Let's keep the length of the question short so we can get to everybody.
Please.
Yep.
I struggle a lot with drinking water balls on Fursuits. Usually I have to just shove it in my face. Yeah, and so I wondered if you guys had any more advanced methods.
Yes, so I'm the viewer, but 100% will allow it. A lot of times, I didn't bring it with me because whatever. Yeah, here's some. I wear a backpack, it's a camelback.
Oh, so
Water in it, like a camelback, and I just go.
It's not like a
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
So you can get them in a Academy Sports.
Walmart, whatever, you're good to go. You can put vodka in there, I'm just kidding, in there.
Yes, in the back.
You hear in the back.
Hello?
Oh, yes.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
where do you get the fur from? Is it Joanne's?
Oh!
I'll answer that real quick. I order this from Fabriccom in Atlanta. Now, this fur is $25 a yard. Joanne's chain. Who has pet a nice silky smooth dog? That's this fur. I will walk down if you want to touch my fur. We're like I said, we're just moist. Now, the stuff at Joanne's is like $35 a yard, and it's like petting a German Shepherd.
That's me. Mine's Joanne's. This part.
Yeah, that's up to you. But so, always do your homework like some commission about your materials. Everything else I get from Joanne's, like my thigh and all that other padding, it does come from Joanne's. They hate me when I go on there. But I order this from Fabric.com, and it's called Flux Luxury Shag Fur. If you type in shag fur on Fabric.com, boom.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I don't get commissions.
Now, we do.
I have way too much on my plate. If I would do hand balls, I would do them a year term. And I would not do that.
Do you do good hand paws? Why don't you promote yourself? Promote yourself! Promote yourself!
these are the
See this
funniest
one.
hand pots.
See that one? Promote yourself!
So, next question. Yes.
What type of sewing style is appropriate for Fursuit?
Oh,
I only thing I know to do is big duck with holding.
Right. Well, when I loop these, I'm not sure what it's called. I taught myself how to sew, and then here I am. Is I'll loop it through, and then I'll half knot each stitch. And I use nylon thread. I'll get an arm length, and then I cut it in half. So each of these stitches are double back nylon thread. Because I can literally beat this suit to death, and I've yet to rip it. So that's what I do personally. Do not use cotton thread on any cosplay, because if you take cotton and go like this, what does it do?
Happy fun time.
Nylon, it will not. And it's under like the upholstery. It's worth the $3.50 for 150 yards. Spend the extra couple dollars. Yes, right here.
Do you have like quad suits, like the one before?
Quad suit. If you don't know what a quad suit is, obviously what anthropomorphic, animal-like characters that walk like Bugs Bunny, stuff like that. A quad suit is you're actually on all fours.
Yes.
And the thing about that is they'll have like something they can hold on, like an air hockey thing, a handle, and they walk on all fours. Quad suits are extremely rough on your back, your thighs, your hips, and everything else because we are not naturally made to walk that way. Yeah, and they're bulky. Yes.
How do you clean it?
Yeah, we didn't touch on cleaning.
Oh!
Failure. So,
Thanks, Mom.
There's multiple ways to clean them. Touch on yours.
So in my particular case, he's not my maker. You need to ask your maker. Please ask your maker. So in my case, what I do is I actually turn mine inside out and I put it in the washing machine. But I don't have an agitator. It'll rip it apart. So if I pause, my feet fall in there. Very, very low detergent, that kind of situation. When I wash my head, I take the electronics out of it because my head lights up, and I have a fan in there as well. There's a battery pack, and I will dunk it in a sink, kind of wash it a little bit, but don't dunk the eyes. Check with your Fursuit maker because some eyes are not water. Oh, that's a beautiful suit. Sorry. Yeah, I was like, whoa. Bye.
Oh, your commission?
Ooh, shite. Sorry, it was really beautiful. So just be careful with the eyes because some of them are not waterproof. The glue might come out. Those kinds of things. And then I just hang it, put a fan on it, and hang it dry. In his case, it's a little different. He uses a bathtub.
Right. What I do is I don't recommend it with my suits because I don't want that situation to happen. What we do is I turn them inside out, fill them in a bathtub, and I put wall light in them. And then I hand tumble them, fill the bathtub up, bring them out, refill. You get
also cold water.
Then after that, I actually squeeze out as much as I can, and I have a PVC like wrap that I hang. It hangs up like this, and there's a blower that blows all the way down. It takes about a couple of days to dry, but you cannot hang these suits up because if you do, this material stretches. So my suit is like this. If I hang them up to dry with the weight of the water, if you pick up a blanket, I'm going to be about a foot tall, and then it's room, and you can rip the material and so on and so forth.
Now, to add to cleaning, when it comes to, like what he just said, you got to dry it a certain way. Can anybody guess why we don't put these in a dryer?
Plastic.
This is plastic fiber. You put this in the dryer, it go bye-bye. It melt.
You ever, this is probably a bad example, you ever have like be near a campfire and it singes your hair?
Yeah.
So, another question we get a lot, and everybody asks is like, we talk about the kids and they walk with sticky hands or, they lollipop right here, or, makeup or cosplay or whatever. Well, how do they get that out? I recommend, ask your maker, bubble lights. Carpet cleans. Bubble lights will get it out. Like when I got these are disgusting. See these? Bubble lights in them will be just as good as that. Oh, it's just that
Like always, now, obviously, we do not wash them while we're here.
Correct.
Now,
right.
You know how Febreze advertises you spray the fabric and it lifts it out? May or may not, whatever. What we use is rubbing alcohol. Because rubbing alcohol evaporates. So what we do is, with us sweating in them, that's why we wear Under Armour, so we sweat into the Under Armour suit, is we spray them heavily down with rubbing alcohol because what it does is reignites the oils and the sweat and everything else in it, and then alcohol evaporates. So I sweat and this was soaked yesterday. Couldn't even tell.
So, and some people will like YouTubers. She'll make Fursuits called Fursuit sprays, and they have like oranges or cinnamon, or some of them have like they smell like lemon ledge,
at one time,
pumpkin spice.
They smell like Joanne Fabrics.
I thought you were going to say Christmas. I like Christmas better.
Yes, in the back.
Is there any absolute stay away from cooling or ventilation systems for the fursuits?
Cooling.
Now,
okay.
with cooling, I would try it, like for instance, I need this. So,
No, I'm asking stay the hell away from, don't even think about it.
Yeah, anything with heat. But just like, we'll touch on this with electronics. If anybody knows anything about soldering, I made sure that I got plugs that were water resistant. And I'm sure you know why. My positives and my negative, it shrink tube independently, and then it shrink tube again.
In reference to your question, we do wear Under Armour underneath these, right? Make sure you get the proper Under Armour.
Oh my God.
There's two versions of it. One's for winter and one's for summer.
And this will confuse you.
Yeah.
It's the reverse of what you think. We are wearing Under Armour heat gear.
Heat gear.
Not cold gear. If you wear cold gear, somebody will be slicing you out of your suit.
And then about that too, when you cut this material, you can't use scissors. I literally have to take a X-Acto knife and niche everything and slide it all the way down, because if I would cut and line up this suit, you would literally see where that fur was cut. So when you have a heat stroke or pass out or you're dehydrated, they don't care. They're going right through it, and then anything that they damage has to be replaced, or if they cut all the way down to your ankle, your suit is now garbage because it's irreplaceable.
Yes.
To line or not to line your heads?
Usually that's up to the preference of the maker. For instance, my head is lined with a balaclava, and that's a good question. I still wear one, just out of habit. But like his is not. So, and neither is his.
The reason why I do not line heads is because you sweat into things. So if you sweat into that balaclava that's lined in your head, then eventually moisture gets into the foam. Unless you submerge your head like that, there's really no full way of disinfecting or cleaning it. And what happens when you turn around and you put like a container outside with food in it in hot summer sun? It starts to mold.
And then that's really
Yeah. So yeah, he had lining in his first set of hand claws, and we cut it out because it was just way too much. So I mean that it all boils down to like his is line, he has no problems. Mine's not line, and that's how I feel about the situation. It's just I like to be able to clean it.
no. Good question.
Yeah.
Any more questions? No, go ahead.
Yes. Next.
Is it mold in it with alcohol, or hydrogen peroxide repair for mold?
If you have mold in it, there's an alcohol in it. If it's on the surface, you cannot guarantee that it is not deeper. The foam I use is that thick. So if it's on the surface, like a tree, the tree's beautiful. You cut the tree down, but the roots are still there. So if you have mold on a suit, I would highly recommend that you dispose of it because it can lead to something health issue.
You can't use hydrocarbon or bleach because it'll eat the foam. Over time, it'll eat that foam, and some of that bleach might dry up, and you're sitting there sweating, and then it gets dry. Yeah, happy fun stuff.
That's all time for it. Just go the other
So that's how
So just trying to avoid mold. That's why every time we're done, we spray our heads down with alcohol.
Yes.
Those situations.
What do you think about like the handheld carpet cleaners? Obviously, instead of using like cleaning solution, use like light, cleaning stuff for the heads instead of having to submerge it.
He submerges his head. Like he says, he'll actually put like woolite because it's a delicate fabric or delicate detergent. Like you can wash really like delicate materials. And he says he submerges it. But always talk to your maker. Now, I can make my own decisions because I've made the suits. So, like if he throws it in the washer and it comes out fine, that's his choice. But I said, hey, I recommend you do this. What he does. I'm sorry? Ask your maker. Because I don't want to tell you you can, and then something get messed up. Because sometimes situations can get out of control. He said it was okay. I would always consult with your maker. Always, always, always. Yes. There's one here. Do you have a question? Oh, yours.
We've got maybe
Point to her to help you.
What we're gonna do, we're also gonna go into the hallway, and if y'all want to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, after.
After we get out, feel free to come talk.
I want to like get handed over.